question before we start. Open your bank account right now and let me know how many AI tools you're paying for right now. And I'm sure you'd see that you're paying for an AI tool that does transcription, image generation, one for short videos, and maybe another AI tool to generate podcasts for you. Now, add up all your subscriptions and let me know how much that costs. Because Google Gemini does all of that. And if you have a Google account, you already have it.
So first one is that Gemini can transcribe a video for you word by word. And this is where a lot of people get wrong. People don't know that Gemini has this functionality. But if you go into Gemini, you click the plus button, you upload a file and it happens to be a video, and you give it a prompt like transcribe this, include timestamps, and you click on submit. It's gonna go ahead and transcribe the entire video for you word by word. Here's a catch nobody tells you, and it's exactly why most people think the functionality is broken. Most people expect that when they come in here, let's say they see a video on YouTube and they want to transcribe it, they come in here and they paste the link in here. If you do that, it's not going to work. You actually have to upload a video. If you look at a tool like 11 Labs as well, you also have to upload a video before it can actually transcribe it for you. So if you have a webinar, you already have a video that you've shot, and you have a client call that you want to transcribe, instead of getting that extra subscription, if you're already in the Google ecosystem, you can just upload a video and it'll transcribe it for you. So as you can see, it's being transcribed for us. This video is 1 minute 17 seconds, so you can see that it's actually transcribed the entire video for us. Now let's move on to the second one. So number 2 is the same power, but this time around it's pointed at audio. So again, if you have an audio file that you actually want to get it transcribed, all you have to do is you drop the audio file inside Gemini and you can just say something along the lines of transcribe this file, and then you hit enter, and the same thing, it's going to go ahead and also transcribe the file for you. So if you think out loud on the go, this is exactly how a walk and talk becomes like a first draft for you. You can actually talk, you upload it into Gemini, and it would actually like transcribe it for you. So as you can see, it's actually transcribed the entire thing for me as well, and it works really well. Now the next one, this is where Gemini actually stops being just a chatbot and it starts being a design tool. So we are actually going to use the canvas functionality. Again, I'm sure you probably didn't know Gemini has a canvas functionality, but if you click on the plus button and you select canvas here, then I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually create an infographics for your business or for content creation. So for instance, let's say I have a post that has to do with like 5 tasks every solo business owner should automate. I'm just going to put in like the infographic, like whatever I want to have here as a prompt. And then I'm selecting the canvas and then I'm going to hit enter. So once I do this, what I expect to see is that I would have like the infographic created for me, because the canvas is basically responsible for creating infographics as well. You can see that it's generated an infographic for us, and this is really clean. Now there are a lot of infographic tools out there. Some of them charge $200 a month, I kid you not, to generate infographics, and some of them are not even as clean as what you see here. I didn't have to get an extra design software. I didn't have to go hunting for templates. Just notice how we made it work. Now the next one, number 4, genuinely surprised me because I thought you needed a separate tool for this. I thought that you had to go into NotebookLM to actually do this. So let's say you have a PDF, right? So I have a PDF which I downloaded off the internet, and let's say you actually want to have an audiobook out of it, right? You can just take the PDF. It doesn't have to be just a PDF. It can be like a slide deck. It could be a book, and you basically turn it into a podcast style audio summary. And all you just have to do is you just upload it, and you can just give it a prompt. You can say, create a podcast style audio summary for me. Again, you can use the canvas here, and then you can just click enter. And what happens is that it would also go ahead and generate a podcast for you. Again, you can do this in NotebookLM, but if you're already in like Gemini and you're working and you don't want to like open another tab, then this is a very simple way for you to actually take advantage of this exact podcast style summary for you. Okay, so you can see that this has generated a podcast style summary for you. So what you can do is you can actually click on create, and you can even convert this to an audio overview. And what happens is that it's gonna actually put this in like voice or audio as well. You can see that it's generating the audio for us as well. So yeah, so if you thought that this functionality or this podcast generating functionality only lived in NotebookLM, no, it's also right here in Gemini as well. Though I want you to hold on the thought on NotebookLM, because there's something interesting about like what you can use NotebookLM or what you can use Gemini for as well. We'll come back to it. I promise that number 9 is going to be iconic. So just stay with me till the end of this particular video. Okay, so I already generated one so that you can see how it works, but I'm just gonna play this and you see that the audio summary has been generated.
Deep dive. You know, when you visit a health-focused cooking website, you totally expect to see like kale and quinoa.
Right, mostly salads and smoothies.
Yeah, you do not expect a massive disclaimer apology.
Okay, so that is the audio summary for you. I'm not going to play the full thing. Now, I want to move on to the next thing, which is number 5. And this is the one I promised. So this is the one nobody really talks about. You can actually build and edit an actual working application right inside Gemini. You don't need to have like a mock-up first. You just have to basically describe what you want to do, and then it will generate the web app for you. Now, I knew you could actually do this in Google AI Studio, but I recently figured out that it's actually been baked inside Gemini as well. So again, if you want to build an entirely new application, you just click the plus button. Again, you select canvas, and you can actually put in like a prompt. So let's say I want to build an app to actually track my daily exercise schedule just because I recently signed up for the gym. Then I can just put in this prompt. Of course, like if you are building an application, you want to make sure that you having the right requirements, you having like everything described down to the T. You don't want to have this big blanket statement here. You need to have the right requirements and everything. And let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do a deep dive into how you can actually vibe code an application from scratch. I actually do have a course on LinkedIn Learning on how you can vibe code applications, and I walk you through how you can actually build a product requirement document, how you can actually build like how you can create user stories and all that, so that you can actually go ahead and build your application. But yes, for the purposes of this tutorial, I just put in one big prompt, and you'd see that it would actually generate the web application for us. Okay, so you can see that the daily track workouts or the daily workout tracker app has now been built. So if I want to add an exercise, I can just click on that, add in the exact exercise I want. If I don't want it, I can delete it. Of course, you'd have to iterate and build upon this. Once you're done, you can always download the code and then upload it to another place you want to actually build upon. But this is actually good because then if you want to build, let's say, an exercise tracker app, and you want to build like a quick client intake form or a simple calculator for your offer, or you want to build, let's say, a lead tracker, you can actually describe it and then watch Gemini actually build the application for you. So that's pretty neat. And that's the shift. You're no longer just like chatting with Gemini, you're actually building something useful from it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that you can actually generate a short, realistic video from Gemini. So in order to do that, again, you can actually come in here, you can click on videos, and you can actually just describe the video you want to create, and Gemini would do that for you. If you don't want to actually like describe the video, you can also upload an image. So if you want to upload an image and generate a video, then that's also possible. But for instance, if I just want to generate a video on like the life in the Amazon rainforest, I can just put in the prompt, and it would actually go ahead and also generates the video for me. Usually video generation does take a while if you are generating it inside Gemini like this, but then of course you can actually like keep the prompt running while you actually do other things. So I actually did try this out. So this is how it actually comes out to be. So you can see that if I hit on play, you see that this video is actually neat. So this is pretty neat. Okay, this is pretty neat. So like I said, this can take about 2 minutes. It can take longer. So don't panic if it doesn't start. You just have to probably move on to doing something else and then just check back again in like 2 to 5 minutes. So that's it. Just from one line prompt, you can actually get a B-roll for your video, and that's exciting. Now let me talk about number 7. So in number 7, you can actually generate images. You can actually edit images directly from Google Gemini as well. Now, I'm sure there are lots of tutorials out there on how to do this. So let's say I have this image here of my photo from Cancun, and I just want to take out the shadows from this particular image. I can just upload the image and say remove the shadows from this image, and I hit enter, and it would actually generate the image again with the shadows and everything removed. So you don't have to open Photoshop. You don't need to get like a separate image editing tool to be able to actually like access this functionality. It's pretty much baked into Gemini, and it works really well. So you can see that the image has been regenerated, and then the shadows have been actually removed as well. So I'll link other tutorials I've done on this in this video, but then the point for now is that this can act as your image generator, and also this can be a list of things you stop paying for. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is guided learning, and this is very underrated, especially if you're a student or you just want to learn any new technology out there. You can actually use the guided learning functionality. So guided learning basically turns Gemini into a tutor. So it actually can help you. It will walk you through topics step by step. It would ask you questions along the way instead of just like dumping answers to you. So this time again, you click on the plus button, you click more tools, you select guided learning, and you can actually upload a file. You can upload a piece of code, whatever you want to upload, right? So let's say I want to understand the concept of AI. I can just select guided learning, and then I can just put in this prompt. I'm going to hit enter, and you can see that it will not just give me answers. It's going to ask me questions. It's going to have follow-on. And so if you have any exams coming up, you can actually use guided learning to help you. So you can see that I ended, even though it gave me like the concept, ended up with which of these entry points I was interesting to use. If I go for everyday life, it's going to go in and delve deeper. So it's just like how you would have a private tutor help you, it would actually do the same thing. And it's not really, like I said, it's not just giving you a set result, it's actually teaching you. So this is how you would actually learn something very technical, something very complex. Just use the guided learning mode inside Gemini. Now I want to talk about NotebookLM. So technically, this one isn't really inside Gemini. However, you can actually like have, if you have, let's say, a notebook in NotebookLM, right, like I do. If you have a notebook inside NotebookLM, what you can actually do is that you can all actually come into Gemini and you can actually attach a NotebookLM here, right? So I have NotebookLM. I have a notebook created for Claude Table 5. I'm just going to hit this one, attach it, and then I can actually like ask it questions. And this is really interesting because see, I'm in the guided learning mode. I have a notebook of NotebookLM. So this is amazing. It's actually going to just like keep the context in NotebookLM for me, and everything I'm asking questions about is actually going to give me a response to. So this is also dope as well. Now, the final bonus I have to talk about is the fact that you can actually generate music using Gemini. Okay, so if you want to generate music, you click the plus button and you click on create music. Right now, what happens is that you can basically describe the track you want or whatever you want to describe. So if I say, let's say, create music about Canada, right? It's gonna go ahead, and of course, if you're using this to generate music, you want to be a lot more specific than create music about Canada, but then it would actually go ahead and generate the music for you. And again, prompting is key here, so you can always prompt your way through how you want the music to actually sound like as well. So I think this again is also pretty neat. I'm going to show you exactly how this sounds like. So this is a song that has been created about Canada. So let me play this song.
From the Maritime salty air to the Rockies standing proud, across the prairie's golden fields, whispering to the passing clouds. Yeah, this northern sky's my home, No matter where I seem to roam, my heart belongs to Canada, sweet Canada.
I'm sure you didn't know that all these 10 things could actually happen in Gemini. So if you have a Google account, then I recommend that you don't sleep on Gemini. If this is your first time here, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share this video. I also do have lots of tutorials on this channel, so I'm gonna link them here as well so that you can go check them out. But again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.